Good morning, Warren. Thank you for jumping on and having a quick call with me. I really appreciate your time, but actually, I'd just like to take this opportunity to create a little something for a group of students that I'll be working with today that I'm actually sharing this video with. So I just want to know a little bit about you, how we met, and we'll go from there.
Amazing. Thank you for inviting me, Keely. Hi, everyone who's watching this as well. My name's Warren, and Keely, we met on LinkedIn. I think we're really big networkers. So, LinkedIn's a great platform to connect with like-minded people that have got similar missions as well. And yeah, I'm a care leaver. I say a proud care leaver because I think if you start from, the upbringing that I had to what I've achieved, I don't know, it just makes the summit that much more sweeter. Like I've done it self-made and I've made it happen. And that's my story of kind of coming from the care system and wanting to thrive after care and not just survive because, I was quite scared, a little bit nervous about, aftercare because I was like, what do I do with my life? But actually, my mind was set. I wanted to become a footballer. That was my sort of dream, was to make it as a professional football player.
Did you play football, or was that just the pipeline dream?
No, so I achieved it. Um, Played for Barcelona. I mean, Bristol Rovers. They play for Bristol Rovers for 3 years. And I thought I made it a bit like Drake, started from the bottom, now I'm here. And then, my manager sat me down, said, "Look, we can't offer you a contract. Like football's quite a harsh industry. Like they can just recycle players." So I was like, "Crap, what do I do with my life?" And looking back now, that was what steered my life in the direction of what I'm doing now. Like traveling the world and stuff. Because back then, after football, I was like, I'm only good at football. I didn't do well at school, didn't have great GCSEs because my mindset was set on making it as a professional football player. So when that was taken from me, Healy, it was like my whole identity was ripped from me. And I just felt like this care lever, like broken, like when am I going to get a break? Like I've gone through so much trauma and challenges in my life. And I just realized that no one was coming to save me. And actually, my mental health took a turn, went through depression, got really down, to a place where I was like, I felt really down. Didn't have no motivation. And then this opportunity came. And I got this phone call, and it's from this American guy. And he's like, "Hey, is that Warren?" I'm like, "Yeah." When you applied to coach soccer in America? And I was like, "Did I?" And they were literally needing a coach. I didn't get the job prior because I didn't have the right qualifications, but they were desperate for a coach. And they were like, "Can you come?" I was like, "Yes." Expecting them to say like, "Yeah, in 6 months' time." It was by the end of the week. So imagine Warren Care Lever, grew up in a council estate. On the Friday, I fly over to America. And this is where, my whole life changed. Because when I was in America, I was living in Chicago. And on the beach, all the guys had like six packs. I was like, looked down, I had a bit of a pouch. I was like, oh my God, I need to get a six pack. So I've gone onto YouTube and I've typed in like gym motivation. And as I typed this in, a speaker called Eric Thomas popped up. And he was just talking about his video, like when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe. I was like, oh, this is motivating me. This is getting me really like ready to get out there and run and stuff. And then what happened was he started sharing his story. And he was like, my mom was on drugs. I was homeless. I grew up in care. I was like, Eric, stop telling everyone your life story because they're going to judge you. Like, they're going to pity you. And when you're a care leaver, you don't want to feel pitied. But in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh. All this time I had a violin, like poor Warren, poor me, grew up without a dad, mum on drugs, went through the care system. But I never, ever saw it the same way as he saw it. And that was when the penny dropped. I was like, maybe, just maybe, I went through all the pain, all the struggles that I went through to be able to help other people. And, I feel like I'm definitely ADHD. So I was like, I'm going to reach 1 million people in 5 years. But I have this massive fear of speaking to people. So I started studying the mind. And this is the cool thing. I learned how to reparent that little boy inside of me that didn't have a great upbringing. And I learned to love that little boy. I learned to build confidence like a computer. I downloaded all of these apps. Like, I want to be confident. I want to be able to communicate effectively because you guys that are watching this right now, I used to be a bit of a like, yo, blood, you good, yeah? Cool, yeah? That was my vocabulary back then. I had to change up my vocabulary. I was wearing suits and all these things. And I was like, and my whole persona changed. I created this person I am now because, you know, if I was your age, I would never do something like this right now. And in doing that, I wrote down a vision of what I want to create. I want to reach 1 million people. I want to speak around the world. And I was inspired by that speaker. So for some of you guys that are watching this right now, you seeing this, because haven't just read a book to get to this space. I'm a care leaver. But for me, you guys that are watching this right now, like, you know the pain of growing up in care. How would you feel if you could help somebody else in care? And that feeling is what drove me to travel in the world. I've spoken in America. I became a YouTuber, a TikToker, anything to get this message out there, doing seminars over 1,000 people. And I got E, like really bad grades in my GCSE, in my GCSEs, but I'm an author. I've got my own book. Like, if you would have said to me at 16, you were going to write a book, I would have laughed at you. And my teachers that were kicking me out of classrooms, right? 3 years ago, one of my teachers, my year 7 teacher, became my client. So this is the cool thing. You guys that are watching this right now, like, you're in one chapter of your life, and there's so many different chapters in your life. And all it takes, like that speaker in Chicago, saying that he was traveling the world and doing what he loved to do. All it takes is one conversation. So I know someone's watching this right now, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, if you can do it, so can I."
And I've
And
got one question just to stop your flow, and I do apologize, but if anyone in the room, even myself, is thinking, yeah, but it's all right for you because you got a call from someone in, you know, USA soccer or whatever it was. Can I just ask, how did you even come across that opportunity? Like, how did that even happen? Because that feels so big that it's like, oh, well, it's only going to happen to you because that's, like, were you sending out emails and just saying, I'm looking for something? Or how did that opportunity even come to you?
yeah, so America, they do Camp America, football coaching. Like, anyone can apply, for these roles in America. But I applied 2 years prior to that. So this came about because they were desperate for coaches
Yeah.
at the time, and that opportunity came, and I
But they had
grabbed it.
your
I think
details. They had your
yes, they have.
details. And I
Yeah,
completely agree with you. I say you are literally one conversation away from a different life. And there is
that's
no
it.
harm in sending emails and letters and being kind of proactive and putting yourself out there, isn't it? And so that's exactly what you did in that situation, which is amazing.
Exactly that. Like, or for example, like thinking of that, like going to like big, big mansions or wealthy houses and saying, look, I want to go there and cut your grass for free. No, don't even charge them, do it for free. And in doing for free, us humans, we're quite emotional beings. If you do something for free, you build a relationship with that person. And then before you know it, they're paying you. But not only that, they're mentoring you. And, whoever you surround yourself with is who you become.
Absolutely. And I think if I can take you back just before kind of to that point where you left care, can I ask how old were you when you left the care system?
I was, so I done education after. So yeah, about 20, 19, 20. I was.
So you stayed for that extra bit of time. And do you think that was a big help for you?
Yeah, because they paid for my all my courses and stuff. Yes, yes, so I got the funding still. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, but that's a real, like, I think sometimes we're in school and you're like, oh, I can't wait to finish. Like, I am so done. Get me out of
Mhm.
here. And that's great, but actually it's that stepping stone to what's next. And I think sometimes if we don't carry on with a course or active training or whatever it may be, it kind of can give you those stepping stones to sometimes bad choices and bad pathways, can't it?
Definitely, yeah. Like, all I knew growing up was like football was something that I loved to do. I was good at it because I practiced over and over again, and I could get paid to do it. I feel like my work on how I was going to generate an income was doing something that I was passionate about, that was close to my heart, loved to do. I was moving because I got ADHD, and I always say, like, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. That's always been my sort of philosophy.
Exactly. And that's exactly why I do what I do for that exact same reason. So yeah, that's cool. And so I suppose just because I know obviously this is meant to be short and sweet, but thank you for your time. and obviously the power of LinkedIn and social media and kind of being there. And part of what I'm working with the young people today is about their personality types and their body language. And I know a lot of work that you do when you go on your speaking tours and speaking to young people. What do you think? Okay, not what do you think? Let's rewind that. If I say to you body language, it can obviously be in different contexts of work and business and life and relationships and all of the stuff. But what is it that you love about body language? What does body language mean to you?
I love that you asked this question, Keely. So, body language is crucial. You guys that are watching this right now, how your body language is, right? Your non-verbal communication. So, what you're not saying speaks louder than what you are saying. So, if I was like, "Hi guys, I'm Warren and I'm a confidence coach," do you believe me? You don't. But if I said, "Hey guys, my name's Warren, I'm a confidence coach," do you believe me now? Yes. And the thing is, me being a care leaver, I moved to Mayfair, right? London, Mayfair, right? And I'm telling you this because when I was in Mayfair, I would watch all of the other successful people that were in Mayfair and I would see how they would be sitting and speaking and talking. And I was watching, I was observing their body language. But before I did that, I'd ask for, investments from them or to work with them. And they'd be like, "No, go away," because of my body language. So once I started to mirror, I started to copy their body language. Even sometimes, I just started rubbing my fingers on my chin and speaking and slowing down, but straight back, confidence. I started to get people believing in me, giving me investments, right? Paying for things for me, like to travel to a different country. So body language is crucial in not just in work, with relationships, friendships. It it almost it tells the world who you are.
Absolutely. I love body language. Learning it, understanding it, and getting to grips with it literally changed my life. I'm a huge advocate, which is why I do it in like all my workshops, even if it's just a little bit about capturing that attention about relationships, because it kind of everyone's got a fear of rejection. And if you can understand body language, it doesn't mean you won't ever be rejected, but you can pick up on those cues and those signals that really are like, oh, okay, they're showing me with their body, not their mouth, that they're probably not interested, and you can kind of feel a bit more in control. And when you feel a bit more in control, you definitely feel a bit more powerful, don't you? You feel like, okay, I'm in control here, which means I can literally take this any way I want, as in out the back door, I'm done, or let's go for it and full steam ahead. So yeah, love body language. Well, Warren, thank you. I really, really appreciate your time. I know you've done some podcasts and stuff, so I've got a little resource pack that I'm going to send out. So I'll add in a QR code and a link to that if anyone wants to kind of jump on and see that. And I really appreciate your time and thank you for sharing a bit of your story.
No worries at all. See you later, guys. Thank you, Keely, for inviting me, and take care.